Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Championship Wrestling Podcast, presented by BFree CBD, proudly brings to you it's one of the best hosts in the world from Memphis, Tennessee, Dustin Starr.
BFreeCBD.com joins forces with Championship Wrestling to bring you the all-new Championship Wrestling Podcast. And here's your host, Dustin Starr, featuring special guest,
BFree CBD,
founder of BFree CBD, Daryl Bird. Here we go!
Body aches gone, leg pain gone, back pain gone, relaxation on.
And welcome back to another brand new episode of the all-new Championship Wrestling Podcast, presented by our friends at BFree CBD. Head over to BFreeCBD.com to save 20% every day on the very best CBD. Thank you, Chris Downs, and thank you, T-Bone Terrence Ward, for the introductions. I am Dustin Starr. Be sure to hit that subscribe button wherever you're listening. Join the conversation and follow us at CW30 Wrestling. Of course, I'm at Dustin Starr. And throw a follow to our pals at BFree CBD. That's the letter B, Free CBD. It's another exciting week with a lot to talk about, everything Memphis. Plus, we'll take a look at what's ahead. Daryl Bird will join us with a big surprise, and we're going to dip into the mailbag, and it's huge. But first,
The Championship Wrestling Rewind is brought to you by BFree CBD.
let's take a look back at all the action that happened inside and outside the ring last week. I'll get into the results of Milestone Part 3, the finale, in just a moment, but I'll start with my appearance on Shootin' the Shiznits podcast. My longtime friend, Coach BT, Brian Trammell, and I had a lot to talk about, including our first huge live event coming to Memphis.
Keep teasing me. You text me. You said we got some big news. So give me the big news.
Well, I can't give you the big news just yet. The big news I can give you is that I've got big news coming, and I really mean that. The best I can give you right now is that Championship Wrestling, presented by Pro Shingle, is almost ready for their first big live event. This will be something that everybody is going to enjoy. This is going to be something that every wrestling fan that's listening right now will want to be at, and it's going to be live, and it's going to be in Memphis, and it's going to be on Memphis television.
It's always a lot of fun catching up with my buddy BT. We are looking forward to our first big live event. You'll know it when you see it. Keep an eye out for the press release and the big announcement coming soon. Up next, if you're like me, you watch Being the Elite every week on YouTube. And as we discussed on the Grind City Wrestling Podcast last week, there were some familiar faces on this week's Being the Elite episode. Check it out.
Have you seen the newest episode of Being the Elite?
Here he goes.
The Elite.
goes.
The Elite. Did you see it, Devin?
Hey, what does Dustin always say? Get your ish in.
Yeah. Getting it in, brother.
Getting his ish in.
So who was on Being the Elite this week?
Oh, you see? I think it was the Young Bucks. You
Young
see
Bucks?
those? Yeah. But I also saw this guy. He was screaming in the camera. He was Be the Elite. Be Elite in the camera. You know him?
And then Grizz walks in and he's in it.
You know
It
that
was
guy?
cool.
No. I think it was Dustin. I noticed the hair and I was like, yeah, that guy looks familiar.
That lettuce was not tight in that video.
I've been talking about
It was
it.
not very tight.
I've been talking about it for the last month that we need to be. There's the song.
There you go, right on cue.
Yeah, that we need to be on Being the Elite. Your video was in there, Devin.
It was.
Your boy Grizz was in there, Eric. I made it. That was super, super cool.
How many views has that?
Be sure to check out last week's episode of Being the Elite on YouTube. It was awesome. I think that's bucket list worthy. Shout out.
Party!
to the Memphis Grizzlies, the Young Bucks, and everybody else who made that happen. And then finally, Saturday was Milestone Part 3, the finale. 2 big championship matches, a 2 out of 3 Falls Women's Division Challenge, plus a special birthday surprise for my Maria. We got started with the United World Tag Team titles on the line. The Soul Burners successfully defended against Wasted Youth. It was a great contest. The experience and really the size of Rust Taylor was just too much. This guy's a physical specimen. Keep an eye out on him. He might be the next NXT or another company signee. After that, it was women's division action. Best 2 out of 3 falls where Lacey Ryan challenged Heather Monroe, the Queen Bey of Championship Wrestling. And with Houston Body at ringside, that made all the difference in the world. The cheating was so blatant that Houston was ejected from ringside. But the damage was done. Heather Monroe reigns supreme once again. Whether you like it or not, she just keeps winning. And then it was main event time. The Heritage Championship on the line as Watts defended against the NWA's Stroke Daddy, Ricky Starks. Stark was very impressive, even powerbombed Watts, which never happens and probably will never happen again. But in the end, the question mark, for some reason, came out, distracted Starks just enough for Watts to hit his deadly choke bomb for the victory. But wait, that wasn't it. I had a little surprise for my Maria.
Yeah, me and my main man, Chris Gales, we've got a little birthday song for my Maria, and you can check out Chris Gales on Beale Street all the time. All right, let's go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, my Maria. Happy birthday to you and many more. Oh, yeah. Woo!
We absolutely love Chris Gales. Be sure to follow him at Chris Gales Music. That's Gales. If you'd like to see behind-the-scenes footage of this performance and what we do in studio, hit YouTube and search Rhino JB. That's RYNOJB. You can't miss it. Hit the sub button while you're there. Give him a follow at Ryan J. Barber. Last but not least, I'd like to take the time to pay my respects to one of the greatest performers of all time. He's a WWE Hall of Famer and spent a lot of time right here in Memphis, Tennessee. I'm talking about Rocky Soulman Johnson. I remember working with Rocky Johnson at the TV studios when I was in a tag team, getting a pretty good push on television. I remember some of the tips and pointers that Rocky Johnson provided. He also mentioned I had big legs, and he was really an advocate of our tag team. Later, we saw him at Revenge at Resorts. He wanted to take a picture with my Maria, but he would only do it if she was sitting on his lap. Maybe it was a little bit uncomfortable for my Maria, but Rocky Soulman Johnson, he's the man. Soulman, he passed away on Wednesday, the 15th of January at age 75. He will certainly be missed.
Daryl Bird here with BFree CBD, and I have some great news. We are giving away a BFree CBD gift pack that includes bath bombs, our world-famous tincture oils, and those creams and salves to wipe away the pain from your body. It's very easy to win. All you have to do is like our Facebook page, share the post pinned on top, and good luck. Remember, you can always save 20% at BFreeCBD.com. That's just the letter B, freecbd.com.
BFree CBD, pain on, pain gone. BFree CBD.
The Championship Wrestling Lookout is brought to you by BFree CBD.
You definitely better look out for that big giveaway on Facebook. Do what Daryl says. Go to BFree CBD on Facebook and like the page, plus share their post. They're giving away a nice gift pack of BFree CBD. Shout out to Daryl and Charlotte. They gifted us one last week, and we love it all, especially the bath bombs. And this Saturday on Championship Wrestling, presented by Pro Shingle, it's the official start of the PP3 tournament. Remember, 8 men will compete in this tournament to win Percy's Privilege, the urn, which can be cashed in for a title opportunity of the winner's choosing anytime, any place. And the tournament kicks off with Anthony Idol versus Zicky Dice. Zicky Dice has his eyes on the NWA Television Championship, but Anthony Idol says he's the new idol in Memphis, if you know what I'm saying. He has a tough task ahead of him. That's round 1. Also, Ryan Kidd versus Jordan Clearwater. We'll see if Clearwater can overcome the hump and take advantage of actually being inserted into this tournament after losing to Danny Limelight. Also, we're going to see Johnny Yuma versus Adrian Quest. This is big because on Milestone, Johnny Yuma was embarrassed by Adrian Quest during the promo. He was punched right out, so we're going to see those guys in action. Kind of a grudge match there. And then in the main event, the Friendship Farm. Super Beetle and Sweet Robin Shaw, 2 of my favorites. They're going to be in action against the Classic Connection. And you know that a United World Tag Team title opportunity could be on the line for the winner here. Also Saturday, join us at Commerce Street Market for our next Eat and Greet featuring selfies with Olaf and Elsa from the hit movie Frozen. Also, Cousin's Maine Lobster is going to be on hand, and we all know how delicious they are. Then, on Sunday, join us at Dave & Buster's Wolf Chase for our free Royal Rumble watch party. Be sure to arrive early so you can draw your number for the Rumble matches. Now, if your number wins the Rumble, you win big. A $50 gift card, dinner for 2, and a special professional wrestling prize. Shout out to Chris Downs for bringing a nice gift for myself and my Maria at the last pre-party at 3 Guys Pizza Pies. We're looking forward to seeing everyone at Dave & Buster's on Sunday. And last but certainly not least, look out for our very own Kathy Campanelli, NXT's latest signee. Congratulations, Kathy. We'll be on the lookout for you.
It's time for this week's mailbag. Guys, we've got letters.
We do have letters, T-Bone, and we've got quite a few of them. So shout out to everyone who submitted their questions this week. Every week, I'm going to try to answer those questions and give those shout outs. There's some very good ones here, quite a few of them. So let's go ahead and dive in. The first question's from Mark Ayers. He's on Twitter at OBCOP. He asks, how tall is Marco Stunt? Well, my answer is he's tall enough. Or as we like to say, he is fun-sized. And I can't wait to work with Marco Stunt. He's a buddy of mine. The announcement is coming very soon, so be on the lookout. Next question's from Dreadhead Kev at DreadheadKev22. He says he has 2 questions. First, will we see Dustin Starr versus Ray Rosas? Or does Ray not care? Well, first of all, I don't think Ray cares about anything, but I do, because if you remember, just like Dreadhead does, back in September at the Red Carpet Rumble, Ray Rosas put his hands on my Maria. And I assure you, nobody puts their hands on my Maria. So the first opportunity I get to get Ray Rosas in the ring, there's going to be some payback. And you know what they say about payback. I can't wait for that. Second question, will Dustin Starr get a record deal? Yeah, hey, Chris Gales, what do you think about that? Highly unlikely. Up next, Puppet Wrestling Promo Alliance asks, who is your favorite puppet wrestler? Or just puppet? Well, I'd have to go with my favorite puppet wrestler's got to be the Pig Boy from The Fiend. I love the Muscle Man song that they did together. And also, I'm a big fan of Kermit the Frog, if you know what I'm saying. Next question's from at Nathan Baganza. I hope I said that right. How about we get an Aldis versus Star rematch, except this time we make it a mixed tag with the wives. Hey, you know what? I've been chasing Nick Aldis for quite a while. I need a shot at the NWA 10 pounds of gold because I did defeat Nick Aldis for the Global Force Wrestling World Heavyweight Championship just a little while back, only to have that decision overturned. I'm not so sure that my Maria could go toe-to-toe with Mickie James, one of the very best women's wrestlers of our time. But you know what? Anytime I can get in the ring with the world's heavyweight champion, or should I say the real world's champion, I'm all for it. The next question's from @CarlSmithWriter. Thanks for all the tweets, man. We appreciate the support. What's your favorite in-ring shenanigans for a heel to do? Mine has to be the handful of chalk to the eyes. That kind of reminds me of Mr. Fuji. Or maybe LeBron James when he throws the chalk in the air and gets in his teammates' eyes. But I would have to say that my favorite is the high heel shoe. And a little tidbit here, Maria hates taking her high heels off and throwing it to me in the match because she does not like to have her feet on the dirty floor. How funny is that? But I would definitely have to go with the high heel shoe from my Maria. Up next, my buddy Teddy has a real good one. Follow him @Crasher12. He says, give your Mount Rushmore of enhancement talent. He also adds, do Bobby Eaton and Ming qualify at all considering their roles in getting guys who needed a credible victory? He was able to get them over. I would say yes, and I would put Ming on my list, and I mean no disrespect, but if you beat Ming, you got over, man. And one guy that I can think of, he was very instrumental in getting Chris Benoit over, among other people, but I definitely remember that. So Ming would be on my Mount Rushmore of enhancement talent with all due respect. Also, kicking it back to old classic Memphis days, I'd have to go with TD Steele. TD Steele was a guy that Memphis wrestling fans saw each and every week. We became familiar with him even though he never won a match. Shout out to TD Steele getting a mention here on the program. Also, I'd like to add 1-2-3 Kid. I know that he eventually got over, but back in the day, man, he was a very strong enhancement talent that ended up going on to win championships and get inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. And speaking of Hall of Fame enhancement talent, I'm going to go with Brooklyn Brawler. The guy is a legend. Do we ever see Brooklyn Brawler win a match? He's also a member of the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2015. Last but not least is Jumpin' Joey Maggs. Who remembers Joey Maggs? If you do, tweet me @Dustin Starr, because Joey Maggs was enhancement talent for WCW, WWF, and then he came to Memphis where he kind of got a little bit of star power just because of his notoriety being on national television. But that would be my list. I would go with Ming, TD Steele, 1-2-3 Kid, Brooklyn Brawler, and Jumpin' Joey Maggs. Next question is from David Owens, who does a great job writing recaps for Championship Wrestling. You can follow him @DROwens901. He asked my Gooker of the Year in 2019, and he had a little list there with a whole bunch of Gooker quality stuff, but I definitely have to go with Bray Wyatt and Seth Rollins' Hell in a Cell. I just think that match kind of derailed both guys for quite a while, and they had to struggle to get back on track after that. The fans just did not like it. And before we go in the mailbag, Bill Dundee update. We asked this question last week about Bill Dundee not appearing on AEW, the tribute to the legends of Memphis wrestling, but Dundee joined Randy Hales' podcast, and he talked all about the fact that he was taken off the AEW tribute. He was booked, he was taken off, and we talked about it last week. It's still unclear, but Bill did get paid. He mentioned that on the Randy Hales podcast. You can follow Randy and keep up with him and his Memphis memories @RB Hales. You can go and listen to the interview in full. But also there was a little bit of rumors about maybe the slapping of Joey Janela might have played a role in that. But that's purely speculation. Superstar Bill Dundee is not upset at AEW. He was booked. He was unbooked. He is a former booker and promoter, so he knows the business. He's not upset about it. He got paid. Easy payday. That's it for this week's mailbag. Thank you guys so much for sending such great questions. I don't care what it is, man. If you want to know the answer, hit me up @Dustin Starr and @CW30 Wrestling.
Thanks for listening to the Championship Wrestling Podcast presented by BFreeCBD.com.
That's right. Thanks for joining us. Be sure to support our partners at BFreeCBD.com. They're offering 20% off. If you already take CBD or have been thinking about trying it, certainly try BFree CBD. And remember, they're giving away a whole gift pack of prizes. Hit their Facebook page right now @BFree CBD for your chance to win. Remember, that's the letter B, Free CBD. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you right here next week on the Championship Wrestling Podcast presented by BFree CBD. And as I sign off, I leave you with this on MLK Day. Until next time, I'm Dustin Starr. So long, everybody.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.